Hey, howdy, and a big welcome back to Yak City Gaming here on Clemhawks, everybody. I'm Yak, ready to take you through the first couple of innings this afternoon of the Cleveland Guardians and Toronto. Ooh, pardon me, this is the third time that's happened in a video today. Toronto Blue Jays game here. It's a doubleheader for the Cleveland Guardians this afternoon, which means there is some potential for the Twins to see some ground lost should the Guardians win. So as a Blue Jays fan and as a quasi Twins fan, because my man Clem is a Twins fan, we need the Blue Jays to go out there and win 2 games this afternoon. The Minnesota Twins currently enter this game winning 16 out of 27 games so far this year with a 16-11 record on the year, leading the AL Central but not too far behind them. The 12-13 Cleveland Guardians find themselves only 3 games back, so it is a pivotal day on this fine Saturday in Cleveland for the Toronto Blue Jays as they have to find themselves a way to get out there and go and win 2 games to help out the Minnesota Twins and of course keep our man Clem as happy as can be on a fine Saturday afternoon in Central America. I guess Central USA. Central America is a whole other place on the planet. My apologies. Been a while since I've been live talking baseball. However, you know what? We find ourselves having to go live here and watch the ball game. We'll get that done and dusted here in just mere moments, and we'll get this ball game fired up, and we'll get watching a great one. Game 1 between the Blue Jays and Guardians. So there we go. Let's maybe turn that down a little bit there, and that way we don't have that going up too much. And away we go, as it is going to be a good day for a ball game. That's for sure. You know, it's a big Saturday as everybody's starting around that 12:10 start time. There's a couple 2:05 start times, and then a couple later games tonight in the NL by the looks of it. But for the AL, it all starts this afternoon, and it's a big time mover shaker day because, as mentioned, right, for the Blue Jays, they need to go out there and win to help the Minnesota Twins, but for themselves, they also need to go out there and win to help themselves out because they need to go and win 2 games to essentially put themselves in a tie with the Yankees with a total of 18 wins. The Yankees, however, would have 4 less games played, 4 less losses, and still be a game ahead of the Toronto Blue Jays this afternoon if all goes according to plan. Teoscar Hernandez returns for the Toronto Blue Jays, so that is a big note for them. The Cleveland Guardians, of course, I'm not really sure other than Jose Ramirez who they have in the lineup this afternoon, but we'll get that sorted, we'll get that figured out, and we'll get it going. But it looks like they've got quite the panel here today for Blue Jays coverage. Looks like a couple of faces that everybody is familiar with. Of course, watching in Canada, I get to watch the Toronto Blue Jays broadcast, so it is what it is. But give me a sec. I'm just going to tuck my laptop over to my computer, and we'll get this going. There we go. That's going to do the job for us here. It's the Blue Jays and Guardians, 16-11 Jays versus the 12-13 Guardians, coming up next on Sportsnet here in Canada, where we're going to see what these 2 teams feature for us this afternoon because, like I said, it's a pivotal game, not just as Blue Jays fan, but for Twins fans as well. When you look at the Jays, they're 3 games back, and the Guardians are 3 games back of the Twins. It's a big-time matchup in which, you know what, you need the team north of the border to come up with a couple of big W's this afternoon to give the Twins more or less that breathing room in the Central that they're looking for. Obviously, the Chicago White Sox are probably going to be a decent team throughout the year, but the more you can allow other teams and yourself to beat up on the lesser teams in your own division, you're going to have a good chance of winning said division. And that's 16-11 to 593 winning percentage for the Twins, coming off that 2-1 win over the Oakland A's last night, which Clem had the game review up for. You can definitely check that out if you haven't already. But there's a ton of things to really like about a potential Toronto Blue Jays doubleheader sweep today here in Cleveland. So that would be huge for, like I said, all aspects of everything involved on the Clemhawks channel. It would be massive. That said, let's go get you that game review for the Twins stuff that you would have missed yesterday if you missed it. So Clem's game review between the Twins and um, Twins and A's, I think is who was playing. I had to ask him that question 5 times yesterday, but we got it worked out. We got it figured out, and away we went. So here we go, as it is going to be a start to a ball game here in just mere moments, in which, like I said, it's pivotal for both us as Twins fans and us as Blue Jays fans involved in trying to go out there and win ourselves a couple of ball games if you're the Blue Jays, to help out the Twins a little bit, to try and get them a little bit more breathing room in the AL Central. So I'm going to tuck this earpiece back just a little bit, and that way I can hear the broadcast if need be. But other than that, right, the divisions, they are as standing for the Twins. 16-11, they lead the division. The Chicago White Sox, they're 12-13. The Guardians are 12-13. Kansas City is 8-15, and Detroit is 8-17. So unless those teams start turning it around and start winning ball games in bunches here in the next 2 weeks, I think their season is going to be pretty much written off by the end of May. So you can eliminate 2 out of 5 teams in the AL Central by the end of May. But that said, you've still got the Guardians and the White Sox, teams both capable of getting hot at the right time early in the season, as long as they're not too far out of it if you're the Twins. So today is a big game where, right, the Blue Jays have a chance to take away 2 huge pivotal games for the Guardians to get back in that division race and allow the Twins to kind of cement their lead a little bit further, because after 2 losses, the Guardians would be at 12-15 on the season, and that would drop them 3 games below 500, and that would drop them quite significantly behind the Minnesota Twins in the division race, that is for sure. So tonight, right, 2 games and hopefully a good result for both the Blue Jays and Twins, and that allows us. I think Gausman's taken the mound for the Blue Jays in one of these games at least, so that's going to be interesting to see how he pitches. He's been a big shaker and mover in the betting odds for the Cy Young this year. He's moved up all the way into a tie, I believe, for 3rd place with the best odds to win the Cy Young here in the AL this year. So that's a big get for the Toronto Blue Jays, and a big get for a game like today where you really need to come up and get something going. So for me in Canada, it's Ben Wagner, Pat Tabler, and Arash Madani on the commentary. So that's the voice I got to try and listen for, is Vladdy Guerrero Jr. getting all fired up in the dugout, getting all jacked up about what's going to be a good game. For the Blue Jays, it's Springer, Bichette, Guerrero in the 3-hole, Gurriel Jr., Collins, Chapman, Espinal, Kirk, and Tapia rounds out the lineup. Nobody for the Blue Jays is batting over 300 in the starting lineup this afternoon, so that's a note there as well. But Bo Bichette has a 6-game hit streak, and he has a .458 average with 4 RBIs and 1188 OPS in that time. So he's starting to heat up and could be a factor in this game tonight. For the Guardians, pitching a .245 ERA and a .208 opponent's batting average, Shane Bieber takes the mound in 29.1 innings so far this year. Those are his numbers: 29 Ks, 6 walks, and a .95 whip. So a hard guy to hit, and a guy that you got to get to early and often if you want to try and knock him out of the ball game. That is his reputation anyway. So a guy that the Blue Jays have their work cut out for them this afternoon, but they shouldn't have too much of a challenge, as long as, like I said, they get to work early and often here in this ball game and go and make a concerted effort to try and get to Shane Bieber in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. The Guardians, they're going to line up in the outfield as such: Palacios in left, Straw in center, Kwan in right. Then you got Ramirez, Rosario on the left side of the diamond, Miller, Naylor on the right side of the diamond, Bieber on the mound, and Hedges behind the plate catching Bieber this afternoon. So Jose Ramirez, like everybody's talked about, he is the big key piece for the Cleveland Guardians, and he will look to continue to be a big key piece for the Guardians in the future after signing that extension. Stepping into the box now, George Springer against Shane Bieber, wearing number 57 on the mound for the Cleveland Guardians at home this afternoon. Top of the 1st underway with first pitch. It'll be high for ball 1. And Springer will step out batting .274, a .333 OBP, 6 homers, 12 RBIs in the leadoff spot for the Jays this year. Pitch number 2, he smacks it right down to Ramirez there at third base across the diamond. And that's out number 1 on the stretch by Naylor, and that is a 2-pitch out for Shane Bieber and the Cleveland Guardians to begin the afternoon as Bichette begins walking up to the dish. .254 batting average as mentioned for Bo Bichette, who's looking, like I said, to keep heating up. 27 games, obviously that .458 average over the past 6 is going to make a big difference for a guy batting .254. So we'll see what happens as the pitch in from Bieber, smacked again to third base, handled easily by Ramirez across the diamond again. A little bit of a step up into the air by Naylor, gets the out, 2 down, quickly 3 pitches into this inning for Shane Bieber and the Cleveland Guardians to begin this afternoon ball game here in Cleveland. So they're showing a highlight of Vladdy Guerrero hitting a home run. I think that was yesterday against the Cleveland Guardians. You know what? It's hard to pay attention to ball games that happen at noon when you're at work working on a delivery truck, so forgive me, but Vladdy batting .290, 364 OBP, 7 homers, and 19 RBIs to begin this season, and he's looking to get damage going as Bieber will just ground one about 4 feet short of the plate, bounces it off the dirt. Kind of a weird glove save there by the catcher, didn't even make really full contact with the glove. And now Vladdy will face the 1-0 pitch in. He'll cut on and miss a pitch that goes just about 3 inches off the plate away from him. And now a 1-1 count. 5 pitches in only is Shane Bieber. So I said they had to make him work hard. And so far, he's got a 1-1 count and 2 outs with 5 pitches. And there's Vladdy taking that Oppo Taco hack, going 91 mile an hour on the outside half of the plate and almost drilling it down the line. But instead, it's a foul ball. And Jays find themselves down to potentially their last strike at the top of the first. Only 6 pitches into the inning. As Bieber winds up, delivers, and that one will be again hacked off by Vladdy. An 84 mile an hour curveball right down the heart of the plate. Fouled back, kind of surprised him, I think. Kind of messed up his timing, as probably was by design there for that pitch. That is for sure is now. Bieber will set again. Career versus Toronto. 3 games started at .211 ERA and a .66 whip. The pitch in, and it's going to be grounded into the dirt just to the left of, or to the right of home plate, left of, I don't know how you want to talk about broadcast angles. Haven't called a ball game in a while, but you know what? It is a 2-2 count against Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who will line up or get ready for this one again. It's going to go off the plate yet again at a 3-2 loaded count. And all of a sudden, Guerrero, after letting the first 2 guys go down on 3 pitches, has worked up a 6-pitch at bat here against Shane Bieber and at least made him pitch the minimum. And he will make him throw him yet another one here. Fouls off pitch number 10 of the inning, and it'll remain a 3-2 count with 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. A gorgeous looking day in Cleveland. Looks like it's a little chilly. I mean, guys are wearing long sleeves and stuff, but you know what? Still sun shining, all's good. And Vladdy just looped that one up in the air. It's going to be stumbled, and what an effort by Miller to get over there and just tuck in to the slide to make that catch. Naylor bailed on it, and that was a tough go there for the Cleveland Guardians. A weird pop-up from Vladdy. It kind of just one that blooped its way over first base but didn't end up really going anywhere, and kind of almost got to be trouble there for a mere moment, but the Guardians escape it, get over the inning. 11 pitches from Mr. Shane Bieber, and away they go with a chance to continue to add to what has been a good start to this game, going into the bottom half of the first inning now, and a chance to potentially take a lead if the Blue Jays pitching really doesn't want to work out too well. So for the Oakland Athletics and Minnesota Twins game, let's go quickly get ourselves a score there. It's 0-0 in the top half of the first inning, as it appears somebody has got on base against the Minnesota Twins here. It is indeed. So Pinder struck out, Noose singled to center, and Kemp grounded out. First baseman Krylov to pitcher Gray. So it is Noose there at first still, or how does that all work out? I'm not sure, but 2 outs, man at first, and that's it. That's all for the Oakland Athletics so far in the top half of the first against the Minnesota Twins. So for the Jays, they also lost a player today on waivers to the New York Mets, so that's an interesting note to keep in mind. For the Guardians, we get back to action here. It's Miles Straw leading off. Kwan, Ramirez, Miller, Naylor, Reyes, Rosario, Palacios, and Hedges round out the lineup. And yeah, I was saying that Toronto doesn't have many players batting 300. The Guardians, half their lineup is batting 300 or better, but they'll oppose Kevin Gausman, who's 2.27 ERA, 256 opponent's batting average in 31.2 innings and 41 Ks with 0 walks so far to begin this season. A .98 whip so far. Not a bad start to the year if you are Kevin Gausman, setting or looking to tie records here with that kind of weird walk anomaly. 0 walks to start a season through 5 starts. I think he tied Cy Young as the only player to ever do that through 5 starts. So here we go. Bottom of the first, Gausman sets. In the box is Straw. And the first pitch of the day for the Guardians at home will be fouled off by Straw. An 0-1 count now. Has a nice fastball grooved right up high in the zone by Gausman. Gets Straw to foul it back. 271 average, 3 RBIs, 0 homers in the leadoff spot for Miles Straw so far this year. Gausman sets, ready to deliver another pitch here. He'll fire it on the outside half for a strike, just right on the black there. Gets the call, and that'll be an 0-2 count to Straw, who now finds himself in the hole against a player in Gausman, who's had a lot more strikeouts than innings pitched this year, and looking to finish off yet another one here. The kick to the deliver, and that one will be grounded up the middle. Tough play for Bichette. Not really a chance to make anything of it. Overreaching for the ball, and safe at first with that great speed is Miles Straw. Anyone else with less speed than Miles Straw probably doesn't get there on Bichette. Bichette probably takes his time to wait for that ball, but due to the speed of Miles Straw, who was pretty much already at first by the time Bichette had made contact with the glove and ball, that's it. That's all she wrote for that opportunity to get an out for the Blue Jays. And now the Guardians start off with a runner at first, nobody out. And Stephen Kwan up to the dish here. 328 batting average, 1 home run, 11 RBIs to start this season. A 423 on base percentage for Stephen Kwan. That one fired just high and wide of the zone by Kevin Gausman. 1-0 now to Kwan, who burst onto the scene, if I remember correctly, at the start of the year. So I'm not sure if he's slowed down or just kind of kept that pace going. But he had a monster start. Gausman, the pickoff move over to first base. In there safely as Miles Straw. Guerrero double checked and throws back to the pitcher Gausman. We'll get this going. A 9% K rate this season for Stephen Kwan. That is exceptionally low in today's MLB. And a fantastic number if you're a Guardians fan to see what he's put up so far to start this season. Gausman sets, delivers, fires, and it gets that call on the outside edge once again. Really getting those calls to start this game. If you're a Blue Jays fan and if you're a Twins fan, you're really enjoying seeing that from the umpire in Cleveland this afternoon. A 1-1 count to Kwan. Gausman sets. And a little bit of movement and delivers once again. And they're gunning out Miles Straw. Yes, they are. The throwdown gets Straw on the caught stealing. And what a play there from the Blue Jays. A perfect delivery from Kevin Gausman to the catcher, Zach Collins, to nail Miles Straw. Stealing that bag, and just a perfect tag by Bo Bichette. Gets Miles Straw by a couple of inches. And that'll be the out that really was needed on the ground ball, but the Blue Jays nonetheless work into the next batter and get the out as well. A 2-1 count now to Stephen Kwan, and 1 out on the board in this first inning for the Blue Jays against the Guardians. A pitch from Gausman will be right into the lower third of the zone. Gets it to a 2-2 count and a 1 out still remaining on the board. Stephen Kwan, like I said, though, has yet to really K this season. 9% so far through the start of the season, which, what is that? Maybe 8 strikeouts on the year, and that's not a bad number if you've played about 25 games. But he is caught looking on a beautiful pitch on that bottom corner from Kevin Gausman, and right there, sometimes it just lines up, knock him up, or line him up, knock him down kind of stats. And that one, a perfect pitch from Kevin Gausman to yet again get another strikeout and send Stephen Kwan to the dugout, looking not a bad time at all. The Blue Jays defense, Matt Chapman, Bo Bichette on the left side, Espinal and Guerrero on the right side of the infield. And the Blue Jays looking to set things up here. 2 outs now in the bottom half of the first and respond right back to the Guardians shutdown in that first inning. And look at that, another strike on the outside edge from Kevin Gausman. The umpires being a little friendly here. And I don't know why Santiago Espinal is all the way out in right field, but it appears he is. And Jose Ramirez batting right now for the Cleveland Guardians. He's going to foul that one off. A .315 batting average so far. Quickly down 0-2 before they can even show the graphic. 7 home runs, 29 RBIs on the season. Your MLB leader in runs batted in to start this season so far. And now the pitch coming in from Gausman as he waits a second for Ramirez to set and get ready. And Gausman sets, delivers, and that one a nice sinking ball into the dirt. Couldn't get Ramirez to bite. And now 11 pitches deep into the inning, a 9.2 K rate, third row lowest in the MLB, while Gausman does not appear to care about how low your K rate is. He's gone up there and done it to Stephen Kwan, and he's looking to do it to Jose Ramirez again. This one grounded off of Gausman, and yeah, you know what? That one takes a weird, funny hop off Gausman, crosses up both defenders for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that'll allow Jose Ramirez on yet another weird infield hit to reach bag in this bottom half of the first inning. Gausman almost came up with that ball, and then the defense just kind of can't match it. As look at how aggressive that shift is on Jose Ramirez. I think Matt Chapman's playing 5 feet to the left of second base, which is pretty aggressive. Like, you're giving them the whole right side, not even part of the right side. Like, just hit it remotely close to third. No, just hit it anywhere or a normal shortstop would be, and you've got a base hit. And this one now on the throw, the slider from Gausman, a 1-0 count. Can't get the call on the outside edge that time, so the Guardians will start in at bat up 1-0 in the count. Owen Miller, who's batting .344, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs in 19 games played this season, and the slider there that time catches Miller chase and goes right back to it. Does Gausman, gets him going, a 1-1 count with 2 out. Man at first is Jose Ramirez. And Gausman now having to work a little, approaching that usual average pitch rate per inning, 15. Pickoff move to Ramirez. He's back in safely. 14 pitches so far for Gausman, so the next one will be 15. Looking for action there to try and keep pace more or less with Shane Bieber, who had a quick, breezy first inning against the Blue Jays in the top half, and now this bottom half winding down here. Hopefully, if you're a Blue Jays fan, the pitch in. Ramirez going, and he is going to have that bag safely at second. What a steal from Jose Ramirez, who just absolutely runs to second and gets in there, no question about it. Look at that break, a perfect steal from Jose Ramirez. Gets going fast enough that the helmet comes off, the tag's late, the throw didn't come in time, and it's a 1-2 count to the batter Owen Miller, with Ramirez stealing his third base of the season on that steal of second against Zach Collins. So Gausman will set, looking to shut down Owen Miller like he shut down Stephen Kwan. And Gausman looks back at Ramirez, bounced in the dirt. Zach Collins quickly pounces on it, and Ramirez heads back to second base, so as he doesn't get caught on that ball there. And we got the scoreboard? We do got the scoreboard. That is solid. That is much needed. I want to make sure we got that covered for you. But the highest average with runners in scoring position, the Cleveland Guardians lead with a .294 batting average with runners in scoring position this season. not a bad time if you're a Guardians fan, but again, as a Twins fan, you're a little concerned that they could start winning games here sometime. I don't really know what's wrong with Cleveland. It is, I think, maybe a bullpen issue if your offense is doing all that kind of thing, but right now you gotta hopefully see this through and shut it down if you're Kevin Gausman and the Blue Jays here. 3-2 count, fully loaded here. And this one's going to be swung on and missed by Miller. Second strikeout of the night, afternoon, whatever you want to say for Gausman. And he will head to the dugout. 2 hits against. 2 weird infield hits. Give me a sec. As that's the way to start a game. You know what? Yeah, 2 little weird bloopy infield hits, but for Gausman, he settles down, recovers up, and gets the job done to get back into the game and not worry too much about what's happening for his defense behind him. 2 strikeouts, take care of business yourself at the dish. You're probably going to be pretty successful in terms of pitching a long game tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clemhawks. I am Yak. I'm a big Blue Jays fan. Of course, though, Clem's a huge Twins fan, and as the Guardians are playing today, I figured it was a pretty useful endeavor to go out there and live stream a little bit of Twins Jays action and try and cover things off for you. Unfortunately, here in Canada, unless you're in Manitoba, you don't get too much coverage of the Minnesota Twins, so that's why we're tweeting or YouTubing or whatever you want to say about the Toronto Blue Jays today as opposed to the Minnesota Twins. Is simply that's what I have access to. I'm not going on any of those sketchy online things, and we're just not going to worry too much about it. So right now at the dish for the Minnesota Twins, it appears Gary Sanchez is up in a 2-1 count against Caprillion. I don't know how to say that. Again, looking like a goof, but that's okay. Polanco lined into a double play, and then Kepler walked on a full count. Buxton to second. And then Buxton struck out safe on Kaplan's wild pitch. So that's kind of what happened there. So looks like it's Buxton at second. 2 outs in the game for the Minnesota Twins in the bottom half of the inning in the first there in Minnesota. AL East or AL ERA leaders, sorry. If I could read, we'd be doing good too. Shane Bieber, since 2020, has been your AL ERA leader, and he is setting up to pitch another at bat here. It's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. drawing into the box with those big honking glasses for the Jays today, and he is going to see that one go for a high ball, and man, those are some baller shades, that's for sure. 263 average, 2 homers and 10 RBIs for Gurriel. He's going to wind up and see that slider go away into the other batter's box. 2-0 count. Bieber now pitching more like you'd expect him to against the Jays, a little bit more conservative. And this one's going to be blooped off the end of the bat, up the first base line. Bieber to Naylor, and you've got yourself the first out combination of the inning. Gurriel grounds out, and that allows the Guardians to get their first out of the inning, and Bieber still efficiently breezing by. ERA by or earned runs by innings so far this season, 0 earned runs in the first through fourth. Like I said, if you want to have success against them, you need to get to them early and often this game. So far the Jays not doing that. 5th through 8th, he's given up 8 earned runs this season. And that one's going to be Zach Collins smacking this ball. It's into left field. It's blowing around there, and an easy catch there eventually for Palacios, who gets the second out of the game. The Blue Jays just not working counts today. 15 pitches from Bieber nets him an inning and 2/3 pitched, with Matt Chapman coming up to the dish. And I think they showed the flags in this game. I believe it's blowing in from left field, so not like you're going to have too much success trying to go for the long ball today if you're really trying to hammer it out as the game plan against the Cleveland Guardians. However, the Blue Jays, I think they just need to start settling in and taking some more pitches. A 2-0 count to start the inning was promising, and then it all fell away when Gurriel swung on that pitch. Now this one, a wild pitch from Bieber as it goes up near the dome of Chapman, a 1-0 count resulting from that. Chapman settles back into the box for another pitch from Bieber. This one thrown in, and Chapman's going to slap this the other way over the head of the right fielder Kwan, and that should be good enough to net Matt Chapman a double for the Blue Jays. 2 outs in the inning, and Chapman slaps it the other way over the head of the right fielder for a base hit and an extra little bit for the double. What a go there. That was a solid stay with the swing pitch. And what an at bat there from Matt Chapman. The pitch up the dome, and then the next pitch just takes it the other way over the right fielder's head, shading towards the gap, and away he goes into second base. Kwan throws it in time, but to the cutoff man, not the man at second. 5th double of the season for Matt Chapman, who will stand at second with Santiago Espinal drawn into the box for the Toronto Blue Jays here, a .259 batting average on the season. And Bieber will come up and throw in that first pitch. Again, anything breaking on the outside half, they haven't really given to the pitchers this game. Fastballs on the outside half, they have given to the pitchers. Espinal, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, and a .319 OBP so far this season. And he draws in a 1-0 count yet again. Bieber now all of a sudden having to work in a different position than he has all game. And he throws 2 balls again to begin an at-bat for the second time this inning. And the Blue Jays suddenly have worked him up to 19 pitches this inning. Still not a promising look if you're the Blue Jays. So far, 10 pitches an inning isn't really going to knock a pitcher out too early. That one, 3-0 count. Shane Bieber looks down at his feet. Can't believe he threw that one the way he did. Now he's finding himself really trailing in this at-bat. Lowest runners in scoring position batting average. Toronto Blue Jays leading the way, a $1.68. You imagine they start turning that around. Look out. The AL East will be a wild chase. But Shane Bieber wild in that at bat. Wow, he threw 4 not even close to the zone. 4 straight walk to Santiago Espinal. And again, the Blue Jays will get another crack with runners in scoring position. The first time all game there's been 2 runners on for either team here in the early going. And it's Alejandro Kirk who will step up with a .254 batting average, 1 homer and 3 RBIs on the season, a .338 on base percentage. So the guy has drawn some walks this year, and he gets a chance to try and crush a couple of runs in or just even cash one. Whatever it takes here, that pitch into the zone from Shane Bieber, an 0-1 count now to Kirk. With the aforementioned 2 outs in the inning, 22 pitches for Bieber as we continue to watch that climb here in this second inning. Not quite breezing through like he did last inning. And here's the pitch. High for ball 2. So still struggling to find that fastball location as Shane Bieber early on in this one. Hasn't quite had the success that he had in that first inning, but still struggling here in the second. 3-game hit streak, 4 for 11, and a solo homer for Alejandro Kirk. And this one's going to be, again, fastball high up in the zone and a 2-1 count to Kirk, with Bieber really struggling suddenly with command. 6 out of his past 7 pitches have been balls. The Blue Jays laying back a little bit more, not chasing badly this game. And how about that? Another ball there to make it 3-1 count. And that would potentially, and the next pitch could potentially load it for Raimel Tapia, who I don't think would mind coming up with the bases loaded. He's had some success this year with some bases loaded opportunities. So he'll see 3-1 count to Kirk, a delivery from Bieber here on this pitch. And it is going to be ball number 4. So a double and 2 straight walks for Shane Bieber here in the top half of the second, all with 2 outs in the inning. And suddenly the Cleveland Guardians find themselves in a tight spot against a batter who's got a .212 batting average, and Raimel Tapia coming to the plate in the 9 hole for the Toronto Blue Jays. If you're the Blue Jays, you're wishing somebody would have just gotten on last inning and allowed this to be a bases loaded opportunity for George Springer. However, Tapia, the chosen one this inning with the bases loaded. And it'll be 2 outs, top of the second. Tapia draws in. He is a lanky dude. He is big in that box. And he's going to go in and see that one go down low for ball number 1. So Bieber all of a sudden, I think there should be some concern in that dugout if you're the Cleveland Guardians. 27 pitches now for Bieber. So not too extraordinary, but two straight walks starts the man with another ball, and now it's a 1-1 count, so he grooves in a fastball to get even in the count. But career with bases loaded for Raimel Tapia. 318 batting average. Almost half of his hits have been home runs, and 25 RBIs in 22 at bats. Swings on and misses the curveball there, however. 1-2 count now to Tapia, who will readjust the elbow guard, make sure the helmet's tight, and step back into the box with Bieber knowing exactly what he can do here to get out of the inning with just 30 pitches through two. It looks like it's a really cold day in Cleveland. They got toques on and everything. Didn't know it was that cold there. And Tapia's going to foul that one off the delivery of Bieber. Another curveball there, trying to get him fishing in the dirt. Makes enough contact to foul it off, keep the inning alive, and look to just maybe place one over the second or shortstop positions and try and touch down for a run or two here in this inning. And my goodness, look at how thick those glasses are on the face of Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who's still got that wild, just flowing hair up top and the shaved sides. Teoscar Hernandez not active for today's game, but might be in the second half of the doubleheader. This one grounded up and wide of the first base line for another foul ball from Tapia. Believe that was another curveball that they threw him, so they're really going to work throwing him some curveballs here, that's for sure. But now, stepping into the plate, Tapia looking with this 1-2 count to get something done here and try and work himself some way, somewhere around. And this will be Bieber stepping back into the set position. Pitch in, and Tapia is going to fly this one out into left, and that's going to be a run for the Jays, if not two. And 2 runs are across the board to score as Espinal, no hesitation on the 2-out hit. Soon as contact was made, he was off the bag and round, and that's a 2-rip lead. 4 straight men reached the bases for Raimel Tapia, who suddenly has in 23 at-bats 27 RBIs with the bases loaded in his career, and just a solid push it the other way swing into a dead zone in the Guardians defense, and the Jays take an important 2-0 lead early. And how about that for batting with runners in scoring position? Like I said, they get hot, they get going, and they start climbing the standings, and that's what we need them to start doing today. George Springer now in the box. He's going to absolutely smack-a-dack this ball all the way to the wall in left field. It bounces around there. That's going to be 2 more runs for the Toronto Blue Jays as Tapia slides into home. And what a pounce by George Springer. That one was a beauty of a swing. 4-0 for the Jays now in the top half of the second inning with 2 outs. This rally started with an opposite field double from Matt Chapman, and all of a sudden the Jays are just pouring it on here in the second, and they get yet another at bat. Bo Bichette coming up with a chance with runners in scoring position, that being Springer at second following the bases clearing double. And the little bobble there by Palacios allowed Tapia to put it into high gear, lost the helmet, hair waving in the wind and sliding home to give the Jays a 4-0 lead. Springer coming up clutch and getting some RBIs as well. Can't complain about that, as Tapia really hustled his way around third there. No hesitation from the base coach to send him, and slides in just shy of the bat at home plate. 6th double of the season for George Springer, who gets back into the bag. He just needed to get his base gloves on and wrist guard or some kind of protector there for his hand. And they've got that kind of oven mitt protector. Bo Bichette settling in as George Springer good to go. He tells Shane Bieber that specifically. 3 home runs, 12 RBIs for Bo Bichette, a .252 batting average. And Bichette finds himself down 0-1 in the count. Now 34 pitches to Shane Bieber, who up until this point had not allowed a run in the first 4 innings of any ball game he's pitched this year, and now suddenly allows 4. And that ERA has inflated itself a little bit as well. 2 outs here in the top half of the second still remain. 1-1 count to Bo Bichette. Bieber, as George Springer leads off from second, sets the pause and the pitch. This one fired wide of the zone, away from Bo Bichette. 2-1 count now. Shane Bieber's looking to continue this inning and just try and get out of it now, as this is the hard part for him. He's kind of seen this one slip away, as Chapman a good piece of hitting on that double, and now Bo Bichette has absolutely railed one high into left field. They're trying to track it down. It'll be caught there by the shortstop, and it'll be a 4-0 lead after an inning and a half in Cleveland for the Toronto Blue Jays on a total of 3 hits. Not a bad day's work at the office, if you're telling me. So for the Jays, they find themselves getting going here early on. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out with your man Yak here on Clemhawks. I'm feeling like crap today. Still got the allergies hanging around a little bit here. Northern Alberta kind of gets things rolling a little bit, but is what it is as we get things going here for sure. Let me just do some quick math as we head into a commercial break. 2.75 times 34. Not bad at all. There we go. Good to go. So, what else do we got going on here? What can we tell you about that Minnesota Twins Oakland Athletics game? Nobody out. 4 straight foul balls for Nick Gordon here in this bottom half of the second inning for the Minnesota Twins, who are tied, like I said, 0-0 with the Oakland Athletics. So far, a good game from both teams. The box score would indicate that the Oakland Athletics have had the only hit of the ball game so far. And so far through 2 innings, Sonny Gray has thrown 29 pitches, 16 strikes, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk, so he's allowed a couple of base runners, but that's all right. We'll get back to action here as Kevin Gausman takes the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. And for some reason, they're showing an Ozzie Albies card, and they're showing a Ronald Acuna Jr. card, and Mike Soroka card. Okay. Rookie cards? I'm not sure what's going on here. But looks like they're getting Manoah and Gausman talking about things in the bullpen prior to the game today. Those two, the aces of the staff for the Toronto Blue Jays, as Gausman sets and gets ready to get this bottom half of the second inning underway. You know, if anyone in this ballgame is looking for a quick inning, it is Gausman right here. Blood in the water for the Cleveland Guardians right now, as Bieber allowed those 4 runs in the top half, and the Blue Jays would love to try and sniff out a little bit more in the top half of the third as quickly as possible, as Naylor steps in for the Cleveland Guardians. He's batting .333 this year, 2 homers and 12 RBIs in 16 games, an .847 OPS, and steps in for the first time today. A 1-0 count so far against Gausman. And the pitch incoming, it'll be blasted off into foul territory, into the stands on a late hack by Josh Naylor. And I believe he's Canadian, if I'm not mistaken. I've got my facts right. I'm not sure if it's him or Bo, or if they're both related, or something along the lines. Sounds about right to me, but Josh Naylor stepping in a 1-1 count now, facing Kevin Gausman, who breezed a little bit through that first inning with 2 strikeouts, but also gave up 2 hits. 2-1 count now to Naylor on the outside pitch from Gausman, who looks to settle in and try and get this at-bat dealt with as quickly as possible. Maybe the next 2 or 3 pitches, as he's going to throw this one in and hit the zone nicely on the outside edge at 94 mile an hour. They've got quite an extreme shift against Naylor. Man at shortstop, and it's a regular infield shift, just a little bit more extreme looking outfield shift if I'm missing a man somewhere in the outfield. However, 2-2 count here against Naylor, and it'll be Gausman dealing, and he will get the ground ball fouled back wide of first by Josh Naylor on that one. Gausman would have liked to bury him there, but didn't get the opportunity, and here we go, reset, 2-2 once again, 0 outs in the inning here in the bottom half of the second, 4-0 for Toronto over top of Cleveland. The pitch coming in from Gosman. Will be throwing and ground ball from Naylor right into the shift. There's Bo Bichette. Fires over to Guerrero Jr. and away you go. That's the first out of the inning. If you're Kevin Gosman, a solid little start, that is for sure. So here we go. Let's see what the Blue Jays can continue to produce here as they're looking to fire up and get this going here in this bottom half of the second. One out. Like I said, it's all about getting as quickly to the top half of the third inning as possible with the blood in the water that is Shane Bieber right now on the mound for the Guardians. 184 batting average, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs for Franmil Reyes of the Guardians, who steps in to face Gosman for the first time today. Pitch in will be on the lower end of what should be the strike zone. However, called a strike. Gosman getting several good calls today in his favor and allowing him to get strikes when he needs them, and that's what's kept him cruising this game. Swung on and missed from Reyes. Now quickly an 0-2 count. Gosman suddenly turning up and getting going through this inning a little quicker than last, and looking now for an out to get things going here towards the end of the inning. The pitch in, he'll fire, and that one just low, sinking down. Looked almost like a circle change up if I've got the movement right. However, it goes low of the zone, taken for ball one of the count. 1-2 to Reyes, who will settle in. Gosman sets and will deliver a ball that will be called a ball. It just kind of tails off outside of the zone, far and away from Reyes, who will see himself quickly, just as quickly as he went down 0-2, get into a 2-2 count, even it up, and look to take advantage of Gosman here on this next pitch as it's fired in from Gosman to the plate. And this one, a check swing. Did he go? Looks like they ruled it no-go, so a 3-2 count now to Franmil Reyes. And look at how close this one was. He held back just in time. The barrel just on the barrier there of the front of the plate. And now here Gosman will set and throw and freeze him right there. 95 miles an hour on the low end of the zone. Freezes Reyes yet again. That's twice he's done that this game. And what a pitch there so far from Gosman on the low end of the zone. Gets Kwan and Reyes. And so he throws the four seam and the splitter, and the pitch compare. You kind of see how these ones tumble in a little bit differently. And look at that, it finishes up a little bit different. Splitter is an 84.8 mile an hour velocity, and the fastball type topping out about 95 mile an hour most times. 1-0 count to now Rosario to start this inning. It'll be thrown in, and Gosman will see Rosario check his swing, and he will once again check it for a ball. So 2-0 to Ahmed Rosario, who's batting .207, 7 RBIs. Like I said, drawn in for his first at bat of the game against Mr. Kevin Gosman of the Blue Jays to begin this afternoon. But a 4-0 lead here for the Jays. Really the story of that top half of the second was just doing the right thing with the ball in the right situation. 2 players go the other way to get the job done. Fly ball into center field. George Springer, no doubt about it, catches it out there in right center. And that'll be it. That'll be all a quick, breezy inning for Kevin Gosman, who sees the Blue Jays leading 4-0 after 2 complete in Cleveland to begin this ball game. A pivotal one, as I said, for the Toronto Blue Jays, who are looking to really come out and try and help out the Minnesota Twins and get themselves some wins in the process. So here we go. The Twins find themselves with a man on first, 1 out in the top half of the third against the Oakland Athletics. Now, was that another hit? Looks like it was another walk actually for the for the Oakland Athletics, as they haven't registered a hit in the column yet for the A's in the top half, as Andrews has now stole second. So Andrews was safe at first on a fielding error, by second baseman Polanco, and then Pache struck out, and Andrews stole second, so he is up there at second base with 1 out in the inning against the Minnesota Twins. Sonny Gray on the mound for the Twins today. And we have a moment to breathe. How nice is that? That doesn't happen all too often, but we'll take it and we'll enjoy it for what it is still waking up here on this fine Saturday. Got to go to town yet and get a haircut and all that stuff. As you see, the hair's out of control, but we'll manage what we can manage and not worry about it too much. As that is looking solid here through 2 innings. Not too much to complain about there, that's for sure. As we'll get back to baseball here at the field in Cleveland, where there's a couple of Jays fans in attendance. A young kid and his father in attendance there. A couple there of Jays fans checking the pretzels out. Then who else is in attendance? What do we got? Come on, keep showing the fans. See if I recognize anyone. There's a guy in a random Jays hat just bottom right of the zone. Looks like a contingent of Jays fans actually in that section right there. Shane Bieber will step into the plate or step onto the mound to face Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here in the top half of the third. Guerrero is going to swing on and miss that pitch top of the zone. That's one he normally does damage with. However, he missed that one clean. 287 batting average, 7 home runs, 19 RBIs, a pop out in the first inning. Guerrero sees this one go wide of the zone, a 1-1 count now as Bieber's up there approaching 40 pitches, 39. Next one's 40. Tapia and Chapman really the stellar stars of that second inning rally with 2 outs, both going the other way. One to start the rally, one to get the rally going with some runs, and a really effective job, both of them going the other way in the second inning. And it's nice to see if you're not having success with runners in scoring position, go the other way, take the easy hit and try and get yourself on base and get some runners in. And that's what both of them did to go out there and get things going for the Jays in that top half of the second. Now a 2-2 count to Vladdy, 4-0, like I said, the lead for the Jays. And they find themselves looking to control this ball game all the way through. Shane Bieber struggling here. Is that one again fouled off by Vladdy? I think he's had the lengthiest at-bats out of any Blue Jay today so far. Even the walks were pretty much 5 pitches or less for the Blue Jays in that second inning. So Bieber getting banged around a little bit here. 3 hits, 2 walks. He's going to throw this one up against Vladdy. It's going to be up the middle. Play there by Rosario across the diamond, and Naylor gets Guerrero at first, and it's 1 out there. And look at that. What is that? Is that some pulled pork or what? That looks good. Guys are getting a little bit hungry here, and if they keep showing the food, I'm going to have to go for lunch and give up this streaming gig that we got going on this afternoon here on Clemhawks, let me tell you. However, let's get it going, friends. Those look absolutely deadly. What are they? How do I buy one? And how do I register to get in line for one? However, Gurriel Jr. sees this one floated high of the zone, so he'll settle into the box in a 1-0 count, 260 batting average after the ground out in the second inning up the first base line, and that one will be fired wide of the zone again. 2-0 count now, 1 out here in the top half of the third inning. Bieber, again, that pitch count's now starting to creep up. Yes, he's got 1 out in the third, but at best, he averages just over 15 pitches per inning here in the start of this game with a 4-0 lead. This one low of the zone, 3-0 count. The second time he's done that in 2 innings now. And the pitch count just continues to climb. And I think this day is going to end up going from bad to worse for Shane Bieber, who just walked Lourdes Gurriel Jr. on 4 straight pitches. You never want to walk the cleanup hitter on 4 straight pitches. That's just giving a free pass to get a man on base that can generally still hurt you in a couple more ways than just hitting home runs. And for Gurriel Jr., that is the case. He's got some good speed on the bases, some good sense on the bases, more or less. Not great speed by any means, but does have some good sense. And now you bring up a man for the Blue Jays who's batting .231 and 3 home runs and 9 RBIs on the season. And a guy who can run into one quite quickly in Zach Collins, who comes in with 1 out to face Shane Bieber, with the man at first being Gurriel Jr. This one floated high of the zone. That's 5 straight balls from Shane Bieber, and that was, again, what cost him in the back-to-back walks. Is it was just, I think, 6 or 7 straight balls from Shane Bieber, and, well, you know what happened, a 4-0 lead, and I think the Blue Jays doing the same thing this inning, working the count, being passive in the strike zone, kind of allowing those balls to just float all around it, and getting now to a 2-0 count is Collins. And again, setting the tone though to start this inning was Guerrero, really working the count and taking some pitches and making Bieber work. And you know what? When you've got a pitcher rattle on the mound, make him throw to you. Make him throw as many of them to you as he can without throwing you out or striking you out, whatever. This one, Collins will lift the other way. This one into the left field corner. Caught there by the left fielder. Throwing in. And Guerrero Jr. will just tag up and get back to first base. That one was bleeding away from Palacios out there in left field. Of course, the wind kind of now changing directions, blowing out that way. So a little bit of a cause for concern if you're the left fielders today. That ball is going to be moving quite quickly out towards the corner on you. And, well, a good chance for Zach Collins to go the other way. Lifted it right. However, couldn't get it going. And now Matt Chapman, 5 homers, 14 RBIs. The double in the second going the other way. And the Jays, you know what? They didn't look like they had a game plan in the first inning. But my goodness, now here in the second and the third, take Bieber the other way. Another hack there from Chapman. That one fouled back, an 0-1 count. And now through 51 pitches in 3 innings is Shane Bieber. So at best on this pace, he's going 6 max. 52.5% hard hit percentage for Matt Chapman. That's a career high. And the Guardians will see this one thrown in from Bieber down low of the zone on the curveball. 1-1, a 2-0 or 2 outs here in the top half of the third. I think I'm going to cover you for the bottom half of the third and get myself some food after and call or stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been awesome with you, and we'll get things going here as Chapman will see this one come up to the dish, and he will chase that one in the zone. That was a bad chase there from Chapman, but what do? Just one of those situations, you know what, you pick your pitch and go after it. He did, and chased it low of the zone, and it's a 1-2 count now to Chapman, who hopefully can figure something out here to extend the inning, because you'd like to try and beat 1 or 2 more runs up on Bieber, knock him out of the game, get into the Guardians bullpen, and breeze home the rest of the way. Here comes the pitch. Fired in. Chapman absolutely ropes it to third base. This one fired across by Ramirez, gloved down by Naylor. And that was a hot shot at the hot corner, but gloved there by Ramirez to save the runs. So we'll see what Mr. Kevin Gausman has for us here in the bottom half of the third inning. In the bottom half of the third inning, it's 1 out for the Minnesota Twins, who find themselves in a 0-0 game still with the Oakland Athletics. Jeffers just struck out for the Twins, and Caprilin is breezing through that game so far. 2.1 innings pitched, 38 pitches thrown, and he's pitching an 8.31 ERA this year. That is ugly. 3 strikeouts though. And Sonny Gray, through 3 innings, has brought his ERA down out of the 4s, down to a 3.86, and has 5 strikeouts. Not a bad outing if you're Sonny Gray and the Minnesota Twins so far. Royce Lewis coming in, looking to bat this game so far. 0 for 0. And we will see what ends up happening here. As roster move, Tyler Tullio has been reassigned by the Edmonton Oilers to the Condors. That's good news. He'll wear number 10. I know you might not be tuning in for the hockey talk, but that is huge news for us here in Alberta, let me tell you that much. So, we find ourselves going right now as things will progress to allow us to get Kevin Gausman on the mound. Again here in highest whiff, single pitch type. Splitter, Gausman splitter, absolutely deadly. 51.8% whiff rate. Jesus Luzardo, 40.3% on his curveball. And Robbie Ray, 37.1% on his slider. Swing and miss percentage, that is crazy for Kevin Gausman. who hasn't quite gotten it going yet. So here comes the pitch, fired in, and that's going to be fouled back for strike one to Palacios, who you could say had that troublesome bobble for the Guardians in left field that allowed Tapia to score from second or from first on the bases clearing double by what was that? Not the bases clearing double. I don't even know. Anyway, thrown in to Guerrero from Espinal. 1 out in the inning, and that's all she takes here to get things underway. A couple of pitches, and Gosman's now settled into this bottom half of the third inning. 35 pitches. It was looking like Gosman was going to have a short day, but now all of a sudden he's cruising. And Austin Hedges will step into the box, batting 175 for the Cleveland Guardians to begin this season. And he's looking for something here. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, a 523 on base plus slugging percentage, and a 242 OBP. So really not hitting the ball outside of those 2 home runs. And there's a first pitch strike from Kevin Gosman, who's working efficiently here in this first couple of innings, really attacking the zone, getting the calls on the edges, and coming to work so far for the Blue Jays. And he will fire in another pitch right here. And that one, whew, that slider took way off on him, really torqued it into the dirt, and it's a 1-1 count to Hedges. Zach Collins been a great addition for the Blue Jays so far, really kind of steady-eddied things while Danny Jansen's been injured, and the Blue Jays are trying to sort out the catching situation. Here's the pitch from Gosman. Fired, and what a catch there by Matt Chapman. The camera can't even pan to him before he's got the ball in his glove. Let me tell you, playing in left field behind one of my best third basemen in the league that I play in, it is absolutely wild to watch some of those balls just off the bat, and it's an instant and caught by the third bag. And just unreal sometimes how quick those fast twitch muscles are to get those catches on the hot corner. Miles Straw 1 for 1 with the infield single that ate up Bo Bichette, but he was already there before Bichette even touched the ball on the outside edge. Gosman gets the call again to start another batter down 0-1. Only 38 pitches through this game, and Gosman is eating it up here in this part of this early game here, that's for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, here comes the pitch from Kevin Gosman. He'll fire it high of the zone on the fastball, looking to get Straw to chase something up in the zone, maybe pop it up, maybe just swing right through it. But however, it's a 1-1 count, and now Gosman will once again settle in, get set, and look for an opportunity here to get something done. The pitch, and that's exactly what he wanted on that high fastball. Last pitch, throws it again, and Straw fouls it right back. Batting average with Houston, 256 in his career. Batting average with Cleveland, 278. Not too bad at all for Miles Straw to come in and be an effective player for the Guardians. And of course, that fight with the Yankees fans will endear you to your fan base a little bit more as well. Here's the pitch from Gosman. Fired the other way by Straw over the head of Guerrero Jr. Tapia will settle into it, and that'll allow a base runner with 2 outs for the Guardians. A good job of going the other way. And hey, if you're going to learn anything from the Blue Jays' success in the last 2 innings, how about go the other way? And that was a beauty of a swing from Miles Straw. As somebody that loves going the other way myself, you got to respect it when the major leaguers look good doing it. Here's Kevin Gosman now drawn in again to another at bat. This one against Stephen Kwan, the first player he struck out in this ball game this afternoon against the Guardians. The pitch will not be thrown. Instead, a pickoff move to Straw, who was earlier in this game thrown out for the first out in the game at second base, trying to steal. Caught stealing by Zach Collins on that throw. Here is Gosman setting into the motion, and comes the pitch. He'll fire it, and that one will be high. So far Gosman's gotten the calls on the outer edges, but not on the upper or lower edges so far. He's had to really nail the zone both up and down, but left and right is a little open for Gosman so far in this game, and that's not a unwelcome thing as Straw's winding up, trying to look like he might be stealing here. He was, and fouled back. The hit and run was on by Stephen Kwan. Straw was in there by a mile. But Gosman gets the lucky foul ball as Kwan can't handle the situation. And it'll be a 1-1 count in the bottom half of this third inning with 2 outs here to the batter Kwan. 4-0 the score, may I add, for the Toronto Blue Jays. Stephen Kwan will settle into the box. Gosman sets. And he will deliver. And looks like Straw was going again. Swipes the bag this time. The guy's got some speed. The guy's got some good legs. And right there, he swipes the bag in a 2-1 count. The ball bounced in the dirt. 7th stolen base of the season for Miles Straw, who sees that one. He gets in there all the way, and Zach Collins never had a full good grip on it, so he doesn't even worry about it. 2-1 the count to Kwan, who now has a runner in scoring position. And like we said earlier in the game, the Guardians, while they lead the MLB in terms of runners in scoring position, so it's not unheard of for them to cash a situation here as Kwan winds up in a 3-1 count now, looking to do some damage. Counts in his favor. He can take a pitch, do whatever he needs to do to try and get the pitch he needs, go out there and win this at bat against Kevin Gosman and potentially knock in the first run of the game for the Guardians. However, yes, like I said, we're still cheering for the Blue Jays because we need them to do some damage against the Guardians for the Twins. This one grounded up the middle, and it's going to be past the outstretched, shifted hand of Bo Bichette, and that will be a run. And that's one where Kwan crosses up the shift, costs you, and it's a 4-1 lead now for the Blue Jays. As well, that's an earned run against Gosman, who is dealing so far in this game. Now the pitch count getting a little elevated there, similar to Shane Bieber. And what a piece of hitting again, going the other way by Stephen Kwan, right through the hole on the left side, and nails home Miles Straw, who never a doubt that he was going to score that run as soon as that ball got through the middle. Bo Bichette knew it, and Gosman's like, what do I do? That's the manager's decision, not mine. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third inning, and Jose Ramirez steps up to the dish, 1-for-1 with an infield single so far. That one a little higher in the zone, and the ump's not so friendly to call it for Kevin Gosman, who's now maybe going to miss a couple of calls that he was getting earlier. Well, welcome to umpiring consistencies here in the MLB. They've really got him loaded up on this shift, and they are going to throw over to Kwan at first. He'll be back in safely, a 1-0 count to Ramirez, and Kevin Gosman looking to get this job done here. Sets, and Gosman, the hair flowing in the wind, will deliver the pitch, and that will be called a strike. So literally 2 inches lower than the last pitch. Same situation, same place, and they call it a strike. That's why I'm not sure why the other one couldn't have been a strike. Whatever. 1-1 the count now. 2 outs here in this bottom of the third. Jose Ramirez settling into the at-bat now, working it a little bit here. And the throw in will get a foul ball out of Ramirez up over the netting, and the two guys in the one row in Cleveland get a chance to get a ball and settle into it. Career versus Gosman, 4 hits, 12 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. Nothing on the ledger of anything else special for Jose Ramirez. And the 2 outs remain large here in this third inning because all you need is one more little good ground ball and you can get yourself gone from this one. The perfect pitch there. The splitter comes in and does not bite on it, does Jose Ramirez. So that will allow the Blue Jays to see themselves get into a little bit more of an extended count here against the superstar for the Cleveland Guardians. A 2-2 count, 2 outs. Man at first is Stephen Kwan. Gosman sets, delivers the pitch, and this one fouled off on the splitter by Jose Ramirez yet again. So here we go. Jose Ramirez setting up. And here we go. as this one will be settled in. Gosman, the throw. And Ramirez flies out into right field. Tapia chasing after it, losing it in the wind for a second. Comes up with it, and that is the end of 3 innings, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in to this afternoon's live stream. I got no juice left. I got to get up out of here, get some food in me, and I got to go get myself a little bit of a meal and haircut. You see this hippie hair that I got going on ain't doing me any justice. So ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great afternoon. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Yak. This is Clemhawks. I'm up on out of here.